Welcome to Jimmy James Garage. So I'm going to bring you something that's, I think most people kind of know about. We're not going to be working on those two cars. We're going to be working on the beer truck. So if you don't know, if you haven't been, the first time to my channel, first like and subscribe and do all that fun stuff. But this is going to be converted into a tap truck. So it's an old cattle truck. We're going to call it cattle truck tap, mobile bar, and then they used to haul cows in this thing. Those doors flip open, and I've shown it on a couple of the videos, but the taps are going in there. But meanwhile, we're getting this thing cleaned up. We're getting it running good. And of course, got to have the windows go up and down. Got to have the doors open up. Some basic stuff. So if you looked at the title, it said something like, let's say, Lube, Screw, and Beer Truck. So I'm going to kind of show you what I'm talking about. This stuff here, this blue and white, blue and yellow can, I use that. I like it. A lot of people like other stuff. They'll talk about it's water, takes away the water and that kind of stuff. But, this is also another lube can. You can use also silicone spray. There's lots of things in the market. You choose what you like. I like the blue and yellow can one. It's what I've used forever. It just seems to work good. So that's the lube. Screw. This little screw in here, there's a screw right in there because that's a door handle. And you would think most cars would use this tool right here. You slide them behind the door handle, pop that little clip out, off the candles come. But no, not the 1960 truck. They don't come with that. They come with a little tiny screw right there, right in the back side here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Along with the window cranks, same thing. So mine was stripped out. Couldn't open the door. Get inside the truck, close the door. The handle's stripped. I mean, they just don't make them like they used to, 1960 truck. I mean, holy smokes. Anyways, I went on to your local eBay and I found one. Of course, it's different. It goes right on. It's going to work just fine. But it has an Allen head screw. It's a metric Allen head screw. So now this truck's got metric parts on it. Go figure. Can't think it's ready to screw, but I guess not. It's nice. It looks like good quality. It's really heavy, actually. So I'm very satisfied with it, but really? So that brings up a point. One thing you want to do when you're putting these on, that little screw that's in there, or clip, or the little threads in there that it snaps on, they're splined. Go ahead and use some lube on there. You can even use anti-seize a little bit, just a little bit. You don't have to go crazy, you don't have to dunk in it. But the next guy that works on your piece of junk, which probably will be you'll thank yourself. Because it'll come off really smooth and easy. These things tend to weld themselves on. And you guys, that follow my channel, most of you guys are mechanics and mechanically inclined and do your own work. You know that the minute you go to work on it, it can't come off. So also the other part you want to lube up is this part of the knob right here. So take your little blue and yellow stuff or whatever kind of spray or whatever kind of lubricant you like, the door ease stuff. A lot of people like that because it's kind of waxy, but spray that in there because this thing will swivel and work for years. So make sure you do that. That is a big thing right there. A lot of you know I worked in a dealership for years and, working on a lot of doorknobs, handles, people just crank on them and break them off and screw them up. So you learn some of these tips and tricks as you go along, to get these things operating. And I'll tell you what, as long as they're not binding and as long as they're smooth, you'll thank yourself later. So come in here and I don't know if they see, let me turn the camera here. So in this, you have all these little joints and mechanisms in here. I don't know if it shows, there it goes. So all these little connections, every little connection, you should be spraying the living crap out of it. Make sure you get a lot of lube on it. Like I said, whatever kind of lube you like. I had another handle over here, so I just go up and down with it. But now this thing just goes down like butter. It is super smooth. It's nice and quiet. It was going clunk, 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 clunk. but now it just goes right up and down. So it works really, really well. You know, get this mechanism in here. You know, every little spot you think, like I said, spray the crap out of it. You can always wipe off the extra. Don't go cheap. Okay? So I had an extra handle that I had here, which works good just for screwing around. I don't know where I picked this thing up. But that's tip number 1. Also, in here, all of this needs to be lubed. All of that needs to be cleaned up in the lube. Just lube it up, wipe off the excess. I'm telling you, you're going to thank yourself later. Even in these little holes in here, you know, all that, there's a button in behind there that hits on the striker. Go ahead and throw some lube on that thing. I am telling you, you drive these things down dusty roads and, you know, all over the place, and pretty soon, guess what? That thing is just clogged up, and if it doesn't have any lube in it, you're going to thank yourself for doing that. Here's another trick I've learned, and this is something to just think about. You're cruising down the road. Let me turn it back to me. You're cruising down the road. You're doing your tap service, your beer. You're at the car show. You're at the cruise night. You're doing whatever you're doing. And all of a sudden, one of these handles doesn't work. It breaks, it cracks, the knob falls off. You know, there's another way to fix it real easy, especially if you have a small little screwdriver or a metric Allen head, which is, we don't even get into that, is you got 2 more handles over here. Pretty simple. Just take one of those off, put it over here, because the driver's the one that needs to get in and out. He can run it over and open the passenger side. To get in this thing and try to slide across the seat and all that. So that's a quick little tip. And at the end of this video, this one right here, I'm going to tell you something cool at the end of it you're going to like to hear. So stick around because you need to hear that. So I have got my preaching done about lubing the door up. I'm going to show you the finished product. So stay tuned. One last little thing I forgot before because I started to go do it and I didn't do it yet, is these little screws right here. These little in-place nuts right there. You might want to lube those too, just a little bit. Because then the door panel comes on and off easy. It won't come loose if you tighten it up right, if you have a good lock washer on it. But just make sure and keep that. That's some of this just small maintenances instead of just jamming it in with a screw gun. You know, take your time. Doesn't take an extra minute or 2 to do it. Make sure and hit those also. So everything that goes back together should have some kind of a lube on it. And I'm telling you, I don't know how many times I got to tell you, you're going to like me for it. Remember, stay tuned to the end here. I got a special little thing at the end. You know, I have another quick tech tip as I'm doing this stuff, and I've showed this before, and I really hope you guys go to Amazon, your local Amazon anyways, and buy one of these. They're little magnets, and it's in a little pad, like so. And then on these old trucks and cars, most of them are just covered with metal, and they're all, you know, they're padded. And so to put that door panel on by yourself out here in the shop, unless you want to get your bride out here and have her hold it, and it goes along with, you know, holding the flashlight for your dad. You know how that's going to work out. So go ahead and use that magnet to hold that door panel in place while you start with a couple of screws. And you notice I already lubed them. So that is another tip. It works excellent for all sorts of stuff. Man, I think I'm going to get a second one of these. I only have one. But I'm going to buy a second one because I use it just so much. Again, local Amazon has these, holds it in place. You're not trying to fight it with your knee and twisting and tort, and then you end up cross-threading the screw that goes on the door panel. So there you go. Local Amazon, get yourself one of those. Well, here we are. We're all done. I'm going to show you the finished product. Right here. And there we go. It's all in here nice. A couple things you want to do is don't crank down on these like super hard. When I was working at the dealership, we used to call them flat rate animals. They just hit them as hard as they could, you know, and they were working on a flat rate, and they didn't care if they got to come back as long as they did it quick enough. The other thing you want to pay attention to is orient these handles. If you have it like this, it'll hit your knee, or if it's like this and it rattles down the road, it'll move that window. So if you just go just past center on these things, you know what I mean? So if you just go, you know, you leave it here, If it's like this, it'll rattle down. But if you come up here, it rattles down. It keeps the window up. And then along with this, because these things lock, you want them up a little bit, because if they're this way locked, you won't be able to open the door. So just a couple little tips, but yeah, it works good. So works real good. Happy as can be. So there you go. Nice and new. Love it. And that was an easy, like, I think they were on your local eBay, like, I don't know, like 12 bucks for that handle, something like that. So we're at the end now. So when you're at the end, it's free. This is free. Like and subscribe, because I'm trying to build up my watchers and my watch hours and all that. And I hope you guys watch to the end and share it and like and do all that fun stuff. It really helps me, and it's free to you. It doesn't cost you a thing. And then every time my next notice comes out, or my next video comes out, you'll get notice if you like and subscribe. It'll automatically kick it up on there. What else you got to look at? So here's the end tip. This car, we're going to tell you why. Keeps tracking on me. We're going to tell you why bags and leaf springs are better than 4-link. That's going to be my next video. So stay tuned. I'm going to take it all apart here. Well, I'm not going to take it all apart, but I'm going to pull the wheels off, get it up in here, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So look forward to that video. Hope to have it here in the next few days. So take a look, because the car is on bags, and I'm going to tell you why bags and leaf springs are better than 4-link. Check you on the next one. Thanks for watching.